We know that times were tough for neighborhood businesses during the tightest restrictions of the pandemic, but there is new evidence that a major small business comeback is underway. Greg Woke, co-founder and CEO of Pinger, an alternative telecom company. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks. Good to be with you.
You did your own survey of micro businesses to find out really and truly how small businesses are doing as we were in the pandemic and now trying to shift into this endemic. So let's talk about some of your biggest findings here. In interviewing employees, you found that most of their employers went for small businesses over big businesses.
Yeah, I think the values and the personal connection with the owner of a small business are something that drove a lot of employees to seek employment at a small business.
That's incredibly interesting. And also, we're also seeing that some of these employees were choosing to work from home instead of go into the office. Expand on this.
Well, I think that the people that can work from home are choosing to work from home. And I think smart employers are saying, if people can do their jobs while working from home, then let's go ahead and let them do that.
And as a matter of fact, you found that only 8% work from a traditional retail space or office setting. That's a big jump compared to 58% who choose to work from home. And that has pushed small businesses to have to change the way or look for alternative ways to communicate and reach their customers.
That's right. If you look at small businesses, they're traditionally difficult to communicate with to a large extent because they're busy doing whatever it is that they do for a living, right? So we see that calling and texting both surged during the pandemic because obviously you couldn't go see that person face to face. But post-pandemic, what we're seeing is texting is surging as people choose the convenience of texting over the difficulty of sometimes communicating real time with a small business.
Sure. I see a lot of businesses locally even going to direct messaging, right, from Instagram or other social media apps as well.
That's
so
right.
Had to change and up their game in that way. And this part of the survey was interesting to me. How many new businesses were able to come on despite the fact that we are seeing so many businesses that will have to close their doors, some that have been around for decades?
Yeah. If you look at the survey, about a third of small businesses said, I'm doing about the same as I was prior to the pandemic. A third of them said, I'm doing worse. And a third of them said, I'm doing better. So some businesses clearly benefited from the pandemic. And if you look at the small business starts, according to the US Census, from 2019, right before the pandemic started, until December of last year, new business starts are up almost 50%. So as people start to rethink, the post-pandemic world that they live in, a lot of them have said, hey, I want to be my own boss. I want to start my own business. And they're doing just that.
It's motivation for a lot of people to think outside the box and to help themselves reinvent themselves in their business as well. Greg Woke, thank you so much for being with us with Pinger, helping us to see how our small businesses can make a comeback. Appreciate your time this morning. Take care. 8:17, let's get a check on our forecast with Adam.
All right, thank you very much, May. Outside, it's looking mostly sunny. We're seeing a lot of bright skies. 42 in Modesto. In Stockton, we're at 40 degrees here on the waterfront, and there's not much of a breeze today, so that's going to feel nice outside. It's not freezing, but it is cool here in Sacramento at 41, and we'll end up today with highs reaching for 70 degrees. So we'll end up above normal with high temperatures, and today's a big day. It's March 14th. That's Pi Day, 3.1415926, and a few more. An infinite amount more, actually. So we are mostly sunny now, and we'll have clouds build gradually throughout the day. And by the end of the day, it will be mostly cloudy. But that's not before we get to that warm high near 70 degrees. Satellite showing a few of those clouds. If you look closely, you can see some shades of gray pass over us here in Sacramento. But all of the rain, that's away from us for now. That's going to shift down to the south, and this batch of clouds will cross over us tonight and into tomorrow. So today we see a mix of sun and clouds. After midnight, our window for rain, our opportunity, that's when it really opens. Tomorrow morning is when I expect all of our rain. In the afternoon, notice by 4 o'clock, there's barely anything left over. So it's a fairly quick hitter. By the afternoon, not only are we drying out, but we should also be clearing out too and see some sunshine before the day is over. On Wednesday, it's sunny and dry for everyone, high temperatures staying warm. So how much rain and snow we're looking out of this system? Well, a decent amount in the valley, depending on where you are. The further north you go, the higher the totals will be. If you're in Stockton, Modesto, you're definitely going to be on the low end of this range. Sacramento's probably right in the middle, around a 1/4 inch. inch. In the foothills, up to an inch of rain. In the Sierra, 1 to 4 inches of snow, which isn't a ton, and the snow levels are going to stay high around 7,000 feet. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday all very similar, sunny and warm near 70. Saturday gets cooler with the chance of rain there, and this time with lower snow levels since the storm's going to come in from the north and pull in some colder air. Sunday, spring starts at 66. All right, send it back to the desk for an update on traffic.
Adam, thank you. Taking a live look this morning over our maps in Sacramento, you can see we have a couple of trouble spots. A few hazards to tell you about, especially if you're coming into Sacramento from the Roseville area. We're starting to see some slowing right into, you get into the North Highlands area. 50 as well, we're starting to see some slowing. South Sacramento, it's not too bad at this point in time. Our majors are reflecting an easy drive. 99 Elk Grove Boulevard to Highway 50 will take you 13 minutes. 80, 65 the split, 9 minutes, and 50 Hazel Avenue to 99, 18-minute drive. Just keep in mind we're seeing some of that slowing because we're seeing more congestion, more cars on the road this morning, but otherwise not too bad. 820, people are starting to turn away from grocery chains and embrace local farmers markets more than ever. The new reason for America's farm to fork resurgence.
I'll even tell you off to hit us with the flan. Juliet, hit us with this flan, would you? Come on, throw some in there. Oh my goodness, take a look at that. It's called Halo Halo. That's the name of the dessert. We're at Rolene's in Vacaville, and I cannot wait to try this. It's a unique dessert that we haven't seen before, or at least I haven't. Camera guy Grant haven't. Maybe hasn't. Maybe you have. But we're going to taste that when we come back and find out what this unique Filipino place is all about. Don't go away. Wow.
Coming up on 825, taking a look at downtown area right near I-5 and J Street. Traffic moving smoothly as the traffic winds down. We'll get a full traffic report coming up here. All right, it's home to traditional Filipino food, but it's become famous for new and unique takes on classic desserts and treats. This morning, Gary's on the go at Rolines in Vacaville. Gary, halo halo.
Yes, halo halo. That's what this is all about right here. That's what this dessert is. I'm learning this morning from Roline, the owner. And Roline, how are you this morning?
I'm wonderful. Thank you, guys.
Well, thanks for inviting us in because guess what? You're closed today. Today is the day that you're closed. So if you want to come on down to get these desserts, don't do it today. Do it starting tomorrow. So how long have you been here in Vacaville?
Since 2009.
And how are things going?
Pretty good. I'm just thankful that we're here. Thank you for the community that, they are keeping us alive and afloat.
Well, you do great things in the community. So there's a lot of things that you will make, and that we're looking at the menu. There's a lot of things on there, and a few specific things that you actually, some of those proceeds will go back. Like when there was a fire in Napa, you mentioned that, and some of those proceeds went to help that out.
Yes, that was our champorado halo halo. That's a chocolate rice champorado. This is the halo halo. Yes, that one went to the Napa fire.
The Napa fire, okay.
Yes.
All right, so we're looking at halo halo right now. Juliet is making some shaved ice, and we can come around and take a look at this happening because it's so cool. I love how this is working. Tell us what this dessert is.
This is our brown sugar apple. It is, I created this during the winter months. So for people who are not familiar with halo halo, so they can have something that is familiar to them by using the apples.
Wait a minute, she's stabbing it and shooting it in there. That's amazing.
Making sure that there is enough milk because you can get enough of that milk.
I love that. All right, here's a few more. So this is what they look like here. This is, something that's very unique
Yes,
to your homeland, to the Philippines,
To the
right?
Philippines, yes. Halo halo is normally what we have during summer times.
Okay.
It is your ultimate experience in shave ice. So that's what we have as children. We really love this, and even adults.
Oh.
I like eating this because this is what you will have, like sitting down with friends and family. You will have a good conversation because it takes a while to eat this. It's not just like your soda drink that you can just finish it in like 30 seconds.
Yes, exactly. It takes a while.
Yes, and you can enjoy it and eating it by.
Are those Fruity Pebbles?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I love that.
We make it also with our pinipig. We call it pinipig. It's a sweet rice, toasted rice. But this one is for them to really look so awesome. Look at that.
I'm going to grab both of these right here. Look at that. Wow, I'll hand you off that one here. Now, you also make sandwiches. I'll come make them at the 9 o'clock hour. If we walk this way a little bit, we'll show you what's on this plate. We'll go over here. I'll follow you. Take a look at this, and we'll talk more about these in the 9 o'clock. There's more desserts, and there's sandwiches, because Roline wanted to make some sandwiches, which is a little bit different and not really in line with the Filipino way. Sandwiches don't really go there. She's going to explain what this is all about and how you can get some sandwiches as well, too. I can't even wait to try this, Richard. Here it is. It's halo halo, or as I like to say, holla, holla, holla. There you go, right?
Oh my gosh, it looks so good. I mean, the shaved ice, she was really injecting the stuff in there. Oh, I want it. I want it now. Gary, thank you. 827. Thieves targeting your gas tank with rising prices at the pump. Some criminals are looking to swindle the fuel right from your tank. Take a look at some of the techniques that they're using coming up.
news that matters. You're watching Fox 40.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm Fox 40 meteorologist Adam Epstein. Hope you had a great weekend. We're starting the work week off on a bright and cool note. 41 degrees and temperatures have been stagnant near this mark ever since we started broadcasting at 4:30 this morning, 4 hours ago already. Temperatures in the 40s in the foothills with the exception of Arnold, a cool spot at 36, and starting the day in the 20s in the Sierra. And even though it's cool right now, it will end up being on the warm side, forecast high 70 degrees, but it's going to be partly sunny, blend of sun and clouds. Coming up, I'm excited. I get to talk to you about rain tomorrow in the full forecast. Overall, a warm week and then another chance of rain on Saturday. So our dry stretch, our record dry stretch, could come to an end as soon as tomorrow. May and Richard, finally, some wet
Exciting
weather.
times.
Finally, 1-2 punch as well. Adam, thank you. All right, power is back on at the Chernobyl nuclear plant after Russian forces gained control of it. Ukraine's Atomic Energy Ministry warning of radiation leaks after the Russians took control on the first day of the invasion. But now the cooling systems appear to be running again. Chernobyl is no longer functional as a power station, but still needs to be carefully managed. Workers are still at the facility, but it remains in Russian control.
Vladimir Putin escalating his crackdown on free speech inside Russia. As of today, access to Instagram in Russia has been cut off. Russia's Supervision of Communications Office claims the move is due to posts condoning violence against Russians. Russian prosecutors are seeking a criminal case against Instagram and Facebook, calling them extremist organizations. Russia banned Facebook last week, but some of the country still getting on Facebook by VPNs that can hide a person's location.
A car crashes into a power line, causing an outage in South Sacramento Sunday night. Here's the situation right in front of the AutoZone at Fruit Ridge and Stockton Boulevard. SMUD is working to restore power. There's still about 10 customers in the area without it. Santa Barbara County firefighters continue to battle the Hollister wildfire. As of Sunday, the 100-acre fire is 40% contained. Homes in the area have been evacuated. Firefighters say it's just too difficult to access the flames from the ground. Winds are also giving them a problem. The cause of the fire is unknown.
A woman stole a bottle of alcohol worth $4,000 from a San Jose restaurant. You can see the video right here. Shows her walking behind the bar at the Grand View restaurant and then walking away. Look, she grabs a bottle right there. Now, since the property was valued at over $950, the crime is considered to be felony grand theft. She just walks out. A multi-state manhunt is underway for a person police say shot 5 homeless men in Washington, D.C. and New York. D.C. police releasing these images of the suspect. One D.C. victim was found in a burning tent. He was shot and stabbed, according to police. The D.C. killings happened between March 3rd and 8th. NYPD also investigating 3 separate attacks, the most recent of which was Sunday. One of the victims was hospitalized but is expected to survive.
Diesel price increases are happening faster than regular gas prices. According to AAA, on average, truckers who paid $900 for a 300-gallon tank last year are paying more than $1,500 for the same amount. This will increase supply chain problems. Trucking executives are asking the White House for more oil lease grants, exploration, and domestic oil production.
So the average cost of a gallon of gas nationwide, $3.43 a gallon. It's up by 79 cents over the last 2 weeks. Rideshare and delivery app Uber announcing a new temporary fuel fee. No surprise here. This starts Wednesday and customers will be charged 45 or 55 cents for each Uber trip and 35 or 45 cents for every Uber Eats order. Money will be pocketed by the drivers in an effort to help them deal with the gas prices. And a state lawmaker is demanding more transparency from big oil companies about how much money it actually costs to produce oil here in California. State Senator Ben Allen introduced a bill that would force the state's 5 largest refineries to disclose how much money they spend on crude oil and how much it costs to turn into gas. Allen says the state's environmental laws and gas tax are part of the reason why fuel is so much more expensive here than other states. But he says that doesn't explain the long-term price jump that started in 2015 after an explosion at a refinery in Torrance. Skyrocketing prices at the pump now presenting another issue for drivers.
Today, the national average for a price of gallon of gas is hovering at more than $4.32, and that spike is leading to more theft of fuel.
Just hit you when they're down, right? Fox 40 contributor Janelle Forte shows us some of the ways thieves are targeting your gas tank.
When Stacey Houston pulled up to work at her Las Vegas biohazard cleanup company earlier this week, she quickly realized she had a big problem.
We had a call. We came in to go, and then when one didn't work, they jumped in the other, and then the other one, and then they started checking all the gauges, and they were like, oh my God, all our gas.
All 5 trucks in her fleet on empty. Her company, a victim of gas thieves.
One of them's a 14-foot box truck, so that's like $200 worth of gas.
It's a mounting issue nationwide as record high prices at the pump push some to take desperate and illegal measures. In Houston's case, the thieves took a modest approach, opening her gas tank door and using a hose to siphon out her diesel fuel. But the situation even worse for other victims.
5719.
In Atlanta, the police department releasing this body cam footage of them arresting a suspect accused of drilling holes underneath cars to drain gas directly from the fuel tank. Damage that's pricey to fix.
This could be like $2,000-$3,000 easy in some of the cars.
I understand everybody's hurting, but we're all in the same position. You know, we're all paying the same for gas.
We're all hurting.
Drilling into the gas tank. Geez, Fox 40 contributor Janelle Forte there.
How desperate people are these days, and we can understand. You should contact the police to file a report if you think someone has stolen your gas, and also reach out to your insurance agent to find out if your policy covers that repair. You just heard could be $3,000 to $4,000. Somebody damages your gas tank. Our Costco may increase its member fees this summer. The fees generally increase about every 5.5 years. Why is it that every story I read makes me want to cry? So the increase is up $5 back from 2017 to an annual fee of $60. Executive memberships went up from $110 to $120. Despite the increased membership, renewals rose with U.S. and Canada rates up 92%.
8:38, a change to save lives. One reason so many lives were lost in the Camp Fire was the difficulty of getting people out quickly when the fire was closing in on the town of Paradise.
Fox 40's Eitan Wallace joins us live from Oroville, where a new map of evacuation zones could help in future wildfires. Eitan, we remember the heart-wrenching stories of seeing infernos around people stuck in their cars.
Just awful, May and Richard. And you know, these fire officials, these first responders hope that these new evacuation zones, as they're going to lay out in the map today, will save lives. And as you mentioned, it's all in hopes to avoid what happened during the Camp Fire in 2018. Here is some video from just basically that time, the destruction of the Camp Fire. You see it here, the aftermath of the Camp Fire. Notice all of the burned out abandoned cars along the roads. It was a struggle to get out for many people as the main roads were choked with traffic. The Camp Fire claimed the lives of 85 civilians, and to this day it is the deadliest fire in California history. This morning, Butte County Sheriff Corey Honea, along with BCO's emergency managers, will share with us efforts to prevent the loss of life we saw during that Camp Fire. Well, as part of those efforts, they will present a new map of evacuation zones, and they want the public to see these new zones and be prepared as we approach spring and summer months. Now, Richard and May, because there is no more fire season, and I say that in quotes there, fire season, really these fire officials wanted these evacuation zones to be made clear, readily available to these residents 24/7, so that people know as we come back here live that here in Oroville and elsewhere in Butte County and across our region, that really it's not a matter of if, but when the next fire strikes. So these evacuation zones, they hope, will save lives. Reporting live here in Oroville, Eitan Wallace, Fox 40 News.
Eitan, you put it best.
Yep.
What a real perspective. There is no more fire season.
It's all
because
fire season.
it's every day
Yeah.
could be the potential for wildfires and catastrophic and deadly ones as well in California. Eitan, thank you. What a perspective.
And if to punctuate that, we're expecting rain after 66, 7 days. I mean,
If we don't get rain through today at midnight, it would be 67 days without rain. And it looks like that's when our count is finally going to come to an end. And what this has turned into in Northern California, California as a whole, is fire season year-round with some points less conducive to fires. And that's in the winter, and we've had fires this winter. So it's been very dry for us. We could sorely use this rain, and we're finally going to get some of it tonight and into tomorrow. 41 right now in Sacramento. All the wet weather that's in the United States is up to the north right now, but this will be sweeping down to us as we get into the nighttime. Once it gets dark tonight, our window for rain opens. Let's play through it hour by hour in our futurecast. Today, partly sunny. Clouds get thicker in the evening, and then overnight, 3 a.m., we could see some rain. And there's downpour potential here. That's what you're looking at when you see the yellows and the oranges. As far as the snow goes, barely anything. This storm is really going to be focused on the rain instead of snow. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., The commute is going to be impacted by rain. Be aware of that. And then as we get into the midday hours, it shifts to the east and we dry things out in the valley, even clear things out before the day is all done. So we see some sunshine Tuesday late, and then Wednesday, it's sun for everyone. Here's your full 7-day forecast. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday all very similar, near 70. Saturday and Sunday, cooler, and there's another chance for rain on Saturday. More on that coming up in the full forecast in a few minutes. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you. Let's get you back out on your roadways this morning for your Monday morning commute. 99 at 4th. Traffic is moving along smoothly here. I am seeing a traffic collision, though. 99 northbound at Florin Road. No injuries reported, but it seems like there's a couple of cars still in the slow lane, so be advised of that if you're traveling out and about. You can see we have some scattered side street incidents that could slow you down this morning, but overall traffic is starting to get a bit lighter in our area. Here's a look at your drive times. 99 Elk Grove Boulevard to Highway 50, a 13-minute drive. 80-65 to the split, 13 minutes, and 50 Hazel Avenue to 99, a 17-minute drive. We're in the green there, and as well as over the Yolo Causeway. Traffic in the Tracy Triangle area starting to lighten. Stockton, Modesto, no calls for service. Here's your drive times. 580 Tracy to Dublin out to the Bay Area, a 35-minute drive. It is getting better. Richard?
May, thank you. 8:42 right now. People are starting to turn away from grocery chains and embrace their local farmers market more than ever before. The new reason for Americans' farm to fork resurgence coming up next. .45, taking a look at West Sacramento. You can see the ziggurat there and I-5 in the background. Turning out to be a nice day. We're expecting some rain in the next 24 hours. Heads up, Adam will have more coming up. Legendary actor William Hurt died at the age of 71. Hurt's son confirmed the news on social media Sunday. He says his father died of natural causes. He'd been battling terminal prostate cancer since 2018. Hurt hit the Hollywood scene in the 1980s. Best known for his starring roles in The Big Chill, Broadcast News, Children of a Lesser God. He also earned an Oscar for his incredible performance in A Kiss of a Spider Woman. Hurt died just 1 week before celebrating his 72nd birthday. The gun Kyle Rittenhouse used to kill 2 people and wound another in August of 2020, now destroyed. It followed an agreement between Rittenhouse's defense attorneys, Kenosha County prosecutors, and Dominic Black, who bought the gun for Rittenhouse. Last November, Rittenhouse was acquitted over the deadly shooting during a protest in Kenosha. Google could be landing in some hot water from a lawsuit over restaurant landing pages. Law firm suing Google on behalf of the franchisee of Lime Fresh Mexican restaurants. They say Google set up unauthorized third-party online ordering landing pages and caused restaurants to pay a fee for third-party orders. The suit says Google took cuts of those fees from those orders, the third-party orders. Google denies the claim, saying that they received no third-party compensation. IRS is in the middle of a return season, and of course, they're looking for more workers. IRS wants to hire 5,000 entry-level clerks, tax examiner positions for processing centers in Austin, Texas, Kansas City, Missouri, and Ogden, Utah. Jobs are both temporary and permanent. No previous tax experience needed. As the price of produce rises, many people are turning to local farmers markets as a way to save money. The cost of fruit and vegetables jumped by nearly 6% over the last year, and that's 4 times their annual average for the last 20 years. Meat prices also on the rise, increasing an average of 12% over that same time period. Some local farmers say there's always a great turnout at small markets, but there's been a big increase in recent weeks. 2 electric car manufacturers will be tested on how they can help the electrical grid here in California. Ford and General Motors will become part of a pilot program with Pacific Gas and Electric. The program will study electric vehicles as power sources during blackouts and for energy storage to help stabilize the power grid. Both the Ford F-150 Lightning and the Chevy Silverado Electric have bi-directional power, which means you not only can charge the trucks, but in a pinch, when the power's out, the truck's battery can be diverted back into homes. Nintendo Switch retook the top position of the U.S. best-selling gaming system last month. The Switch outsold Sony PlayStation 5 in both units and dollar sales. Both games have swapped position throughout the year. Nintendo may have benefited from the global chip shortage, which made other gaming systems less accessible. A new ale in time for a popular celebration. It could change the definition of tea time. Take a look at this. American-based Guinness Open Gate Brewery is bringing back Guinness Breakfast Tea Amber. This is just in time for St. Patrick's Day. The brewery debuted the beverage in 2019. The Amber Ale is made with real Irish breakfast tea, added to steep in the beer during the dry hopping phase, and this year it's being sold in 4-packs at different breweries in Maryland. All right, 8:49 right now. Let's get over to Adam in the Weather Center with how things are shaping up today.
All right, so far it's looking good. Temperatures are cool. They're not freezing, but they're chilly outside at 41 degrees, and we're seeing mostly sunny conditions to start. As the day goes on, I expect some clouds to climb, and for the evening time, that's when it really gets cloudy, and that's a good sign because it's ahead of some rain heading our way tonight and into tomorrow. So here's the pathway for that rain. All of these clouds approaching the coast of California, and instead of all of the rain getting pushed up to the Pacific Northwest, the blocking high is too far to the south, so that's going to allow us to see some wet weather. Here's our future cast. Watch that rain get closer and closer to us. We'll keep playing this into tonight and tomorrow morning, stopping it at 8 a.m. So tomorrow morning, your commutes will be impacted by rain. This is your warning. And it could be heavy rain, downpours possible. That's where you're seeing yellows and oranges. Most of that will be in the foothills. And as the afternoon comes along, well, it dries out. The valley is not only drier, but clearer. So at the end of the day, I expect to see sunshine here. The clouds and some light showers may hang on to the higher elevations. Then as we get into Wednesday, it's dry and sunny for everybody. We're not looking at a ton of snow out of this system because the snow levels are pretty high, around 7,000 feet, so 1 to 4 inches of snow. The focus is going to be on the wet weather, not the white weather. So in the valley, anywhere from nothing down through the San Joaquin Valley area up to a ½ inch in Yuba City or Marysville. The further north you go, the higher the totals are going to be. In the foothills, up to 1 inch of rain. Remember, you don't have to worry about the rain today. It's going to be a mix of sun and clouds and warm with highs near 70. And it stays warm this week. Highs are near 70 tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Then we drop off Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's storm is going to come from the north, so I expect colder conditions and lower snow levels there. And on Sunday, spring officially begins. All right, Richard, I'll send it back to you.
Adam, thank you. Are you ready for some high-speed thrills? Take a look at this. We'll take you to San Diego, where a roller coaster named for a penguin is knocking people's socks off.
Oh, Huntington Beach in Southern California.
Wish I was there.
Wish we could get there, but with the cost of prices, forget it. I ain't making the drive.
I'm gonna have to go to the river. All right, after a 2-year break because of the pandemic, many cities are bringing back the St. Patrick's Day traditions.
All right, one Louisiana town bringing back its annual parade after breaking record crowds from Mardi Gras. Those attending the Covington Celtic Club's event say it's been a while since they've felt the luck of the Irish.
We were canceled because of the flood in Covington, and obviously with COVID the last 2 years. So yes, we've been around since 2016, but only gotten to March 4 times.
All right, St. Patrick's Day parades are coming back this year, stretching all the way from Philly to San Francisco. SeaWorld visitors can now hop on the new Emperor Dive coaster in San Diego. I can't look at it, Richard, because my age, I get the
we're
vertigo.
We're getting to the age we're like, oh, we're going to get vertigo. We got to pass on this. This does look fun, though, to my 25-year-old self. The ride was scheduled to open in 2020, but of course, the pandemic had delayed everything. Look at all the details, though. The coaster features multiple loops, vertical drop, 14 stories, 60 miles an hour. The name originates from the emperor penguins, the tallest and heaviest of the species. Can they swim like mad, though? That's what this is patterned after. Here we go.
Get ready for the drop.
Get ready.
Okay. Me 30 years ago
Great.
would have loved that. I would
today?
have crushed it, okay?
No, I'm staying in the car.
No.
All right, a Seattle-based
Stay in the car.
beverage company is expanding into the legalized cannabis trade.
Oh, listen to this. This is interesting. Jones Soda, which makes high energy and craft type sodas, is launching a new line of cannabis-infused drinks. The cannabis sodas, syrups, and gummies will be under a new brand called Mary Jones. The products roll out April 1st here in California and will hit states where cannabis use is legal.
All right, the world's longest car we finally found in May's house right here. She's finally
Yeah.
given us a sneak peek at her car. She drives to work every
Well,
day.
the only reason why it's parked in front of my car is because in my house, because it takes up the entire block, right? The restored limousine, better known as the American Dream, built in 1986, first measured 60 feet long. The iconic car ended up in a warehouse in Jersey for years. The owner sold in 2019 to this guy named Michael Deezer. He's the owner of a car museum in Florida, but both worked together in restoring this bad boy, adding updates like a swimming pool. There's even a putting green. The car's now 100 feet long. I want to see like people using this whole thing in play. What's the deal here?
Right.
You just,
Where are you going to drive that?
Right. Okay.
Just going to go on the freeway and never get off?
Go for
Get
the
to the
red,
chopper. It's got a
red
helipad.
leather, right?
Yeah, red leather. All right.
Groovy.
8:57 right now. Russia now asking for China's help to basically fund its war in Ukraine. And what do we make of the massive missile strike just 11 miles from Poland's border? Talking live with the host of Washington Post's Daily 202 about these new developments coming up in the 9 o'clock hour.
It is great to be with you. 9 o'clock on this Monday morning. I'm May Fasai.
And I'm Richard Sharp. Happening now on Fox 40 News at 9. Optimism growing over new peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, but weekend attacks point to more aggressive tactics from invading forces. Now, one American journalist is dead.
One person hurt in a shooting involving officers in Stockton. We have a call dispatch received from police as gunfire began.
Some California students will still need to wear their masks at school, but others have options. How the recommendations work for some classrooms. Coming up.
Keeping you informed with news that matters. Fox 40 News at 9 starts now.
3.141592653559, otherwise known as
Pi Day.
Pi.
She memorized that. She was closing her eyes there, not looking at her computer.
I was just looking at the different pies on my computer screen. Today is National Pie Day. So we're celebrating in a different way.
We could not be more happier because we're hungry and pizza is here.
Roundtable is here with their Pie Day specials, and
Yeah.
this is especially suiting for our weather today because our meteorologist will be in a better mood because his favorite food is
That's right. This is your
pizza
favorite pie, right?
Right, a lot of people think of pumpkin pie, cherry pie, apple pie, but pizza pie.
There you go.
That's up my alley.
That's us New
Favorite thing.
Yorkers.
It's a great day for me. Pie Day, March 14th, 3.14, like May was saying. 49 degrees in Sacramento to start. So now we have gotten away from temperatures near 40. It's been stagnant for 4 hours, and we're warming up. Temperatures near 50 in the foothills, still in the 20s in the Sierra, and it's going to end up on the warm side today. High temperatures going to about 70 degrees, and we get a blend of sun and clouds during the daytime. Coming up, I'm excited. I get to talk to you about rain coming our way tomorrow for the first time in a very long time. Literally 66 days of dry weather. We have a warm week overall and then another rain chance on Saturday. We'll go over timing and totals of these systems coming up in a few minutes. May and Richard, back to you.
We're back in business.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, thank you. Happening now, mask mandates are no longer in place for some California schools, but not every district is ready to end the requirement.
Fox 40's Claudette Stefani is live in Natomas, where they are getting rid of their masks if they want. Claudette, you've been able to speak with some parents?
Good morning to you, Richard. Yeah, I have been, and I got to tell you, the reaction is mixed. We're over here at Natomas Park Elementary, and all morning long we've been seeing students walk along this very sidewalk, and we've seen the situation play out in different ways. We've seen some kids actually show up with masks on, while other ones have decided to ditch the mask. Now, the new state guidance now strongly recommends wearing a mask while at school and no longer requires it. The decision, however, is ultimately left up to schools. The Natomas Unified School District has decided to align with the state. The district posted a statement to their website, which reads in part, quote, "The Natomas Unified School District will allow students, families, and staff members to make the personal determination of whether to wear a mask while at school. We ask that everyone be respectful of the individual decisions that staff, students, and our families make regarding masks and face coverings." We spoke with one mom who's for it.
For the kids that are not vaccinated, I want them to keep their masks on. For the ones that are vaccinated, I feel like they should have an option.
Some parents we spoke to say they are sticking to the mask and their kids will continue to mask up at school. One parent says she wished the mask requirement had stayed in place.
A little nervous because COVID's not all the way gone, and we have to send our babies to school with other kids without their mask on, so just a little shaky.
Now, not all school districts within our area are saying that it's okay to switch up these rules and are going to be extending their rules. That's Sacramento City and Davis Joint Unified that are going to be keeping their rules in place for now. Reporting live from Natomas, Claudette Stefani and Fox 40 News.
A few nervous parents and I'm sure some nervous students too. Claudette, thank you.
A 19-year-old man is in the hospital after a shooting involving officers in Stockton. It happened Saturday night on East Bianchi Road near California Street. 2 Stockton police officers were in the area on a disturbance call when they heard multiple gunshots and thought they were fired upon. Both officers returned fire.
Confirm if that shot fired by the police or at the police.
54, you shot and where being shot at. We need additional units.
A 19-year-old man was found with at least 1 gunshot wound. Multiple agencies are investigating.
All right, the person is wanted in connection to a deadly Fairfield shooting that left 1 man dead and 2 others seriously hurt. Trin Martinez is accused of opening fire Sunday morning at a 7-Eleven off East Tabor Avenue. Martinez was trying to steal beer from a store when 3 men tried to stop him. Police searched Martinez's home Sunday. He was not there.
These were good Samaritans. What I'll tell people, and I hate it to be this way because I usually intervene, don't confront people when they're stealing. It's best to be a witness, look at what they're doing, and then talk to police.
Police have not released the names of the victims. This is Fairfield's first homicide of the year.
An industrial fire flares up near Sutter's Landing in Sacramento this weekend. Firefighters say a car, trailer, homeless encampment, and propane tanks were on fire when they arrived. There are no reported injuries, even though firefighters had to struggle to bring water to this particular location.
The body of a missing Sacramento woman has been found in Placer County. The Placer County Sheriff's Office says the body of 26-year-old Karina Blue was found Sunday along Green Valley Trail. The Sheriff's Office, along with other agencies, have been searching for Blue since Saturday. Blue was reported missing by her parents on Friday. Investigators have yet to release the cause of death. Ukraine and Russia finished peace talks for the day. They plan to meet again tomorrow.
A top aide for the Ukrainian president says negotiations with Russia are becoming constructive and results could hopefully be just days away. Talks come as Russian troops close in on the capital, Kyiv, and expand their assault into western Ukraine. An attack over the weekend struck a military base near Lviv, killing more than 30 people. This was about 15 miles from the border with NATO member Poland. The strike could be a signal to Western leaders who are providing military assistance to Ukraine. Ukrainian officials continue to call for a no-fly zone over the country.
If we had more planes, we would have been able to save many more human lives, mainly civilian lives, because the main striking force of Russia is in the air.
Top aides from the U.S. and China are scheduled to meet in Rome today after reports Russia has asked China for military equipment. There are also reports Russian forces are dealing with significant weapons losses as the war now enters day 18. The White House has warned China against helping Russia sidestep economic sanctions.
Ukraine's president says an American journalist killed outside of Kiev is deliberately targeted by Russian forces. Brent Renault was reporting on the refugees when he was shot. He's the first non-Ukrainian journalist to be killed in the conflict. A fellow journalist who was with Renault described the chaotic scene.
Cross the first bridge in Nirping. We're going to film other refugees leaving, and we got onto a car. Somebody offered to take us to the other bridge, and we crossed a checkpoint, and they start shooting at us. So the driver turned around, and they kept shooting. It's two of us. My friend is Brent Renault, and he's been shot and left behind.
Juan Arredondo there was also injured in the shooting. Brent Renault was a Peabody Award-winning journalist who had worked for several prominent news outlets, including the New York Times.
12 ballistic missiles launched from Iran into Iraq Sunday nearly hit an unmanned U.S. consulate headquarters. Officials say the consulate building was not the intended target. Iran's Revolutionary Guard has taken responsibility for the attack. No Americans were injured. Iranian media reports the strike was in retaliation for an Israeli strike in Syria last week, which killed 2 Revolutionary Guard members.
We are very concerned about what Iran is doing, but imagine these Iranians with a nuclear weapon. We need to get that off the table so we can address their malign behavior in the Middle East.
The attack follows a pause in talks to revive the Iran nuclear deal. According to the New York Times, a previous holdup in talks involved a request for Washington to lift sanctions against the Iranian Revolutionary Guard.
Former President Barack Obama tested positive for COVID-19. He announced it on social media that he had a scratchy throat for a couple of days, but otherwise he's feeling fine. Former First Lady Michelle Obama tested negative. Obama says that they are grateful they're both vaccinated and boosted. They also encourage anyone who has not yet received a vaccine to do so.
Pfizer plans to submit data to the FDA for a 4th COVID shot. The company's CEO says it's necessary in order to keep hospitalizations down and cases mild. Several countries, including Israel, Germany, and Chile, are already offering a 4th shot to high-risk groups. Pfizer is still working on a vaccine to treat all future variants.
Tom Brady coming out of retirement. On a post to social media, he said that he is returning to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady said, "I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands, and that time will come, but it's not now." He announced his retirement back in February. It only lasted 40 days. This will be Brady's 23rd season in the NFL. I guess it's 40 days. That's all it takes to polish 6 rings or whatever it is he has.
He's the GOAT. He's got all the records.
One more.
He's going to make more.
You know, I get it. He's a competitive guy.
Yeah.
Right.
He tried staying home. He's like, maybe this isn't for me.
Right.
Got to go back to the field and see how he plays. It's amazing what he's been able to do in his age, so we'll see if he can keep it going. So in Vacaville, Sacramento, and in Stockton, seeing a lot of clarity to start off the day. Temperatures are warming up to about 50 degrees in all of these locations, and today we'll all get to about 70 for a high. So it's going to be on the warm side to finish. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds as the day goes on, and then towards the nighttime, clouds thicken up, and by 1 a.m., our window for rain chances, that really opens for us. So we will finally see some wet weather for the first time in months. That gets measured on a rain gauge, I should say. So it looks lovely in California today. It's cooler further inland by Utah and Colorado. We don't have to worry about that. We just get to see nice blend of sun and clouds and warmth this afternoon. Watch how the rain approaches tonight and then into tomorrow morning. I'm going to stop this during the morning commute, 8 a.m. So you will have your windshield wipers on, and please don't forget, if your windshield wipers are on, you also have to turn your headlights so that other cars can see you in the mist and all that rain that your tires pick up. So in the foothills, that's where the downpour potential really lies. We go into the afternoon, things dry out pretty quickly. Not only are we looking drier in the valley, but brighter too by the end of the day. And then for Wednesday, everybody sees sunshine again. The temperatures stay warm around 72. In the full 7-day forecast, you'll see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are all very similar. Saturday and Sunday get cooler, and Saturday has our next chance of rain. And this one looks like a cooler system, so we could have lower snow levels there. We'll talk about the snow in more detail coming up in a few minutes. Richard, back to you.
Adam, thank you. Russia now asking for China's help in its war with Ukraine. What do we know about the massive missile strikes just a few miles from Poland's border? We're talking live with the host of Washington Post's Daily 202 about these new developments. Coming up next.
All right, it's selfie time right now. You're looking at Rollines. You saw Rollines, that is. Rolline. I knew I was going to say that, Rolline. We're taking a selfie. That's what we're doing. Good to see everybody. We're having so much fun, as you can see. We're talking about desserts. We're talking about foods. We're talking about unbelievable Philippine cuisine. We'll tell you more about that when we come back. Don't go away. But this is absolutely delicious. It's called Halo Halo. Good.
.14, you can see it's starting to become dusk in Kyiv. It's about 6:15 their time right now. Another day of peace talks just wrapped up. Russian forces are closing in around Ukraine's capital of Kyiv. Shelling of civilians appears to be increasing as Vladimir Putin's invasion reaches a key stage. So let's get to Olivier Knox, the anchor of Washington Post's The Daily 202, one of the smartest dudes in Washington, here to talk about the latest developments. Olivier, thanks for joining us. So over the weekend, there's been a lot of developments. Let's start with the missile strike right near Poland, like what, 11 miles from the border at a key military base, too.
Right, it's about 15 miles from NATO member Poland. Obviously, a strike inside Poland would have a lot of really bad ramifications. Poland can invoke NATO's Article 5 mutual defense, and we could see a whole different kind of escalation in this conflict. But, you know, the important thing here, I think, is that the strike came a couple of days after Russia basically told the West, we know you're bringing in these weapons with which Ukrainians are killing us. We think we know where you're doing it. You're now fair game. We're coming for those. We're coming for those shipments.
So this is a message more than anything else. Let's also talk about what's happening in Poland. Some of the mayors of some of the cities are saying we are booked. We are maxed out as far as refugees.
Yeah, this is really important. Do you remember how refugee flows from Syria really upset Western European politics, leading in one instance to Brexit?
Yeah.
And you remember how last year Belarus, Russia's ally, was importing refugees from the Middle East and then pushing them over the border into Poland?
Right.
At the time, Europe warned against hybrid warfare. They saw this as a very clear effort to destabilize Poland. Well, Poland now has the lion's share of about 2.5 million Ukrainian refugees. Wow. It's something to watch really closely because, as I said, we've seen other instances in which refugee flows can be destabilizing. So one of the really important things on the Biden agenda now has to be to provide aid to the Polish people.
So that stays calm before it upsets the whole flow of things. Let's also talk about Russia getting involved with China, asking them to help in the war here. This could be significant. It's something the USA does not want to happen.
In fact, on a number of the Sunday shows, Jake Sullivan, President Biden's national security advisor, sent the message that China had better not accede to what U.S. officials are calling a request from Moscow for more weapons. There's talk that Russia, after 2 weeks plus of war in Ukraine, is running out of some of its munitions. And so, according to these U.S. officials, Russia reached out to China and said, essentially, can you provide us with some arms? And China is denying it. But we're positive that this was one of the main items on the agenda as Jake Sullivan, the national security advisor, met today in Rome with China's top foreign policy official.
Are we surprised? I mean, I think I was a little surprised. Russia is such a huge country. They have so many resources that they are already running out of some things. Was this expected or unexpected?
Well, I don't know that it was expected, but I would say this. The campaign has not gone the way Russia expected it to go. And so it's entirely possible that what they planned for and what they built up is not adequate to the task now because of Ukrainian resistance.
So a lot of people in NATO are kind of saying right now Russia maybe has always been a paper tiger, more bluster than anything else.
Well, I don't know about paper tiger because you remember what happened in the Chechnya wars, right? They basically shelled Grozny, the capital there. They shelled cities, they pounded them into gravel and caused tens of thousands of deaths. So, you know, if you're a Ukrainian today facing shelling of your apartment building, you definitely don't think they're a paper tiger. But in a lot of other respects, American logistics experts are watching very closely what exactly Russia is struggling to do. Are they struggling to get food and fuel to the front line?
Yeah.
Are they running out of the kinds of munitions that they want to use? This is all going to teach some really important lessons to NATO and to the United States in particular.
Where the weak points are. What are you going to be watching over the next few days, over this week?
Well, let's see what the official summaries are from this U.S.-China meeting in Rome. You know, it is pretty important for the United States to try to keep them from getting closer as a result of this crisis. China's been walking this weird line where they declined to condemn the invasion. They haven't really joined the global sanctions regime, but they also haven't helped Russia out. For example, at the UN Security Council, they haven't vetoed resolutions criticizing Russia. So that's a really important relationship to watch.
So many things in the works right now besides the PTOCs that are taking place. We'll see how those develop as well. Olivier Knox, host of the Washington Post's 202 podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll always love chatting with you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. All right, 9:18 right now. Let's get over to Adam in the Weather Center, talk about our developing forecast as well. Here, locally, today's going to be pretty nice, though.
Right. If you're just waking up, you missed the coldest part of the day. We were near 40 degrees to begin, now at 49 in Sacramento. And yesterday, my forecast high was for 70 degrees. It felt warm outside, but we didn't quite make it there. Verified at 66. And then in Vacaville, Fairfield, close to 70. Same for Stockton and Modesto, but not at that 70-degree mark. Today, I expect us to be there. 70s are forecast high, and you can see a beautiful blend of sun and clouds. The day goes on, and towards the evening, that's when the clouds really get thicker, and they're coming from the west. High pressure sinking down to the south, so now it provides this pathway for rain to get here in the jet stream to bring storms to Northern California instead of just Oregon and Washington. So for the first time in a very long time, talking about over 2 months, we have a high chance of seeing a measurable amount of precipitation. And that's going to start tonight. This is our rain tracker through 7 a.m. tomorrow. So this is all before sunrise. And once the sun comes up, we'll see a few more rain showers, mostly in the foothills. In the afternoon, expect us to be dry here in the valley. When it comes to the snow, not a ton. This storm isn't about the snow. We're looking at 1 to 4 inches, and most of it above 7,000 feet in elevation. 7,000 feet is Donner Summit. It's Echo Summit. So if you're driving through the Sierra, you're seeing mostly rain until you get to the top, snow, and then you get to the other side, it turns into rain again. Here's your full 7-day forecast. So temperatures stay near 70 all week long until the weekend. That's when we start to cool off in the mid-60s, and coincidentally, that's when spring starts on Sunday. Saturday's our next chance of rain, and this storm looks like it's going to drop in from the north, so that will pull down some cooler air, and we'll likely see lower snow levels with that system. Still too early for predictions on exactly how much snow, but it looks like it's going to be more than what we're getting tomorrow. Richard, back to you.
Thank you. All right. You can enjoy your apple pie, your cherry pie. It's pie day, right? But there are also deals to be had for pizza pies. We're getting a visit from Round Table Pizza coming up at 9:45. Stick around.
Tamarino and pork sour soup, sweet and savory pork. Ooh, I like that one too. Oh my gosh, there's so much in this menu, in this cookbook right here. So many things on the menu, so many things to see, and it's all because of this woman right here. It's all because of Roline. We're at Rolines right now, uniquely Filipino. They've got sandwiches, they've got halo halo, and we're going to tell you all about that when we come back. Don't go away.
Look at the haze off in the distance. We are dry still. Get ready for the raindrops to fall. Adam is timing out our next storm, rolling on in. It's a home to traditional Filipino food style, but it's become famous for new and unique takes on classic desserts and treats. This morning, Gary's on the go at Rolines in Vacaville. Gary, good morning. Oh, can I guess what that is? Is that some sort of flan? No?
Oh, yes, it is. Oh. There you go. You're very, very close. I'm going to put this down before I spill it. And oh, my gosh, it smells so delicious. Roline is behind this, and we're at Roline's Uniquely Filipino restaurant. Good to see you. You've been here since 2009. And the first question right off the bat is this some sort of flan? Is this some, what is this right here?
It's a silken tofu.
It's a silken
tofu?
This
is what we call taho.
So May was right. She said it's a type of a tofu.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the flavors of these. What is this?
This one is our black tea hibiscus taho. This is our taho miso, which is coffee.
Okay.
And then this is our original one, which is brown sugar taho.
And this is really cool right now because while we're talking, the phone is ringing off the hook.
Yeah.
So people are like, I know Rolines, I know what's going on. Josh ran that way. Juliet's over there trying to get the phone. Things are going crazy, but they're not open today. They open up on Tuesday. You're closed on Mondays, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, sandwiches, something new that you did, when COVID kind of hit.
Yes.
You guys are mainly into different type of rice dishes and things, but these are easy to grab and go, right?
Yes. Perfect. Right here, you'll see our tocino.
Okay.
Tocino is our chicken. It's a sweet chicken dish, and
Nice.
turned into a sandwich. What we have there is,
Yeah. More chicken. We just eat this, right?
yeah, we have serrano peppers
Yeah,
inside.
might as well eat
We
that.
have-
That's not a pepper, right? That's chicken?
That's chicken.
Okay, good. All right. And then we go down here.
That is our beef steak sandwich. We have our pickled onions inside. We have provolone.
Okay.
We have our garlic mayo. And here we have the sisig omelette. It is with gremolata.
Oh, so that's an omelet. Look at that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and then we also have our pulled pork. This is our first one, the original sandwich that we have, pulled pork adobo. And we have the aju sauce with it. It is very popular. And our latest one is our ours fried chicken. We have other sandwiches too, but these ones are the ones that we picked for you today.
Yeah, they look so great, so delicious. Now we're looking at a cookbook right here too because you're famous. You are a cook. You are a chef. You are Chef Roline. And this cookbook right here, how long has this been out? And you also teach classes too, don't you?
Yes, the book has been out since COVID time, March 24th of 2020. It's actually coming up with their second year anniversary. So I am excited.
Yes, and we had to finish off with the merch, of course, and then of course with the Halo Halo, right?
Yes, Halo
That Halo Halo, there it is right here. This is what you're famous for. Tell us a little bit about these beautiful things.
Halo Halo is our ultimate experience in shave ice. We have our classic Halo Halo, which has all the ingredients that you could think of in a Halo Halo. It has palm sugar, coconut, we have jellos.
Got 'em all.
Then we have everything. And this one we created for the winter season.
Nice.
We call it the apple brown sugar. And then our favorite one is also this rosas. We also have the champorado, Halo Halo, but this one is our rosas. It's a version of a strawberry Halo Halo.
Okay, there you
Yes,
go.
and-
And this is the one I've been working on, by the way. So, Halo, everybody. Come on down. Rolines. She's fantastic. She does catering. She does it all. Come on out, check it out. What time do you open tomorrow?
11.
11 o'clock. All right.
You got that ube in there, Gary. Oh, I love seeing Rolines dishes. Yeah, that looks like the food I grew up with.
I love it.
Making me see the Halo Halo, make me miss my yaya, which is my nanny that I grew up with. 9:28 is your time. Thieves targeting your gas tank with rising prices at the pump. Some criminals are looking to swindle the fuel right out of your tank. We look at their techniques when we return.
Good morning. Butte County fire officials are set to unveil a map featuring new evacuation zones this morning. Why they say this could save lives when the next big fire strikes. That on the other side.
News that matters. You're watching Fox 40.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm Fox 40 meteorologist Adam Epstein. Hope you had a great weekend and welcome to Pi Day and the work week. Today's March 14th, 3.14. And that is the number for pi, an irrational number that goes on forever, 3.1415, 926, and so on. So we're at 49 right now in Sacramento. We started off the day near 40 degrees. Temperatures will be warming up nicely. I expect highs to top out near 70. And we get a beautiful blend of sun and clouds. So not pure sunshine, not overcast, but somewhere in between. We do get a thickening of cloud cover towards the end of the day and nighttime as the storm approaches. So in the full forecast, I'm excited. I get to talk to you about a really good chance of measurable rain here in Sacramento tomorrow. We have a warm week ahead and then another rain chance on Saturday. So as winter comes to an end, looks like we finally will be getting some rain. Just funny how Mother Nature works, right?
Finally get to talk about rain at the end of rainy season.
Exactly. But at least it's something coming our way.
Adam, thank you. One reason so many lives were lost in the Camp Fire was the difficulty of getting people out quickly when that fire was closing in the town of Paradise. If you remember, 86 people lost their lives.
Yeah. All right, Eitan Wallace joins us live from Oroville, where new maps of evacuation zones are going to be in the future. Eitan, good morning.
Well, Richard and May, good morning. And in essence, fire officials who are going to present these new maps today say these new maps with new evacuation zones will save lives. And it's all really, they say, to avoid what happened back in November 2018 during the Camp Fire when so many people lost their lives during that fire, I should say. Now, take a look at this video from back then. This is the aftermath of the Camp Fire. Notice all the burned out abandoned cars along the road. It was a struggle to get out for many people as the main roads were choked with traffic. The Camp Fire claimed the lives of 85 civilians. To this day, it is the deadliest fire in California history. Well, this morning, Butte County Sheriff Corey Honea, along with BCSO's emergency managers, well, they will share with us efforts to prevent the loss of life we saw during the Camp Fire when other fires strike. That's as part of efforts, they say, that will present a new map of evacuation zones. They want the public to see these new evacuation zones on the map and be prepared as we approach spring and summer months. Now, really important, Richard and May, is that as we come back here live is, you know, these fire officials stress there really is no more of the fire season, as I put it in quotes there. And they say that these new evacuation zones will help during the entire year so that people know if a fire strikes, they know where to go should they need to evacuate, because really it's no longer a matter of if, but when. We will hear from those Butte County fire officials when we see you at 11 a.m. We'll see you then. Reporting live here in Oroville, Eitan Wallace, Fox 40 News.
Something they want every person who lives up there to have memorized, so it's just muscle memory when it happens, not if.
Eitan, thank you. Power's back on at the Chernobyl nuclear plant after Russian forces gained control. Ukraine's Atomic Energy Ministry warning of radiation leaks after the Russians took control on the first day of the invasion. Now the cooling systems appear to be running again. Chernobyl is no longer functional as a power station, but still needs to be carefully managed. Workers are still at the facility, but it does remain in Russian control.
Vladimir Putin is escalating his crackdown on free speech inside Russia. As of today, access to Instagram inside Russia been cut off. Russia's Supervision of Communications Office claims the move is due to the posts condoning violence against Russians. Russian prosecutors are seeking a criminal case against Instagram and Facebook, calling them extremist organizations. Russia banned Facebook last week. Some in the country, though, are still finding a way to tap into the rest of the world by using VPNs that can hide a person's location.
A car crashes into a power line, causing a power outage in South Sacramento Sunday night. This was in front of an AutoZone at Fruit Ridge Road and Stockton Boulevard. SMUD is working to restore power to about 10 customers in the area. Santa Barbara firefighters continue to battle the Hollister wildfire. Sunday, the 100-acre fire is 40% contained. Homes have been evacuated. Firefighters say this terrain is really difficult to access from the ground. Winds are also giving them a challenge. The cause of the fire is unknown.
Multi-state manhunt is underway for the person police say shot 5 homeless men in Washington, D.C. and New York. D.C. police releasing these images of the suspect. One D.C. victim was found in a burning tent. He was shot and stabbed, according to police. D.C. killings happened between March 3rd and 8th, and NYPD also investigating 3 separate attacks, the most recent of which was reported Sunday. One victim was hospitalized, expected to survive.
Diesel price increases are happening faster than regular gas prices. According to AAA, on average, truckers who paid $900 for a 300-gallon tank last year are now paying more than $1,500 for the same amount. This will increase supply chain problems. Trucking executives are asking the White House for more oil lease grants, exploration, and domestic oil production.
The average cost of a regular gallon of gas, $4.43 a gallon. That's up 79 cents over the last 2 weeks. Ride-share and delivery app Uber announcing a new temporary fuel fee. Starting Wednesday, customers will be charged 45 to 55 cents per each Uber trip and 35 to 45 cents for each Uber Eats order. The money will go directly to drivers in an effort to help them fight rising gas prices. State lawmaker is demanding more transparency for big oil companies about how much it actually costs to produce gas in California. The state senator Ben Allen introduced a bill that would force the state's 5 largest refineries to disclose how much money they spend on crude oil and how much it costs to turn it into gas. Allen says the state's environmental laws and gas is a part of the reason why fuel is so much more expensive here than other states. Also doesn't explain the long-term price jump that started in 2015 after an explosion at the refinery in Torrance. 9:37 right now. The skyrocketing prices at the pump now presenting another issue for drivers.
Today, the national average for a gallon of regular is hovering at more than $4.32, and that spike is now leading to theft of fuel.
Stealing your gas. Fox 40 contributor Janelle Forte shows us some of the ways thieves are targeting your gas tank.
When Stacey Houston pulled up to work at her Las Vegas biohazard cleanup company earlier this week, she quickly realized she had a big problem.
We had a call. We came in to go, and then when one didn't work, they jumped in the other, and then the other one, and then they started checking all the gauges, and they were like, oh my God, all our gas.
All 5 trucks in her fleet on empty. Her company, a victim of gas thieves.
One of them's a 14-foot box truck, so that's like $200 worth of gas.
It's a mounting issue nationwide as record high prices at the pump push some to take desperate and illegal measures. In Houston's case, the thieves took a modest approach, opening her gas tank door and using a hose to siphon out her diesel fuel. But the situation even worse for other victims.
57198.
In Atlanta, the police department releasing this body cam footage of them arresting a suspect accused of drilling holes underneath cars to drain gas directly from the fuel tank. Damage that's pricey to fix.
This could be like $2,000-3,000 easy in some of the cars.
I understand everybody's hurting, but we're all in the same position. You know, we're all paying the same for gas.
These guys are jerks, man. Stealing people's gas right out of the tank. Janelle Forte reporting.
You should contact the police to file a report if you think someone has stolen your gas. You can also reach out to your insurance company, find out if your policy covers any damages that could be incurred. You heard there, $3,000-4,000 for a ruined gas tank. It's terrible. Costco may increase its member fees this summer. The fees generally increase about every 5.5 years, and the price goes up about $5 back in 2017 to an annual fee of $60. Executive memberships went up from $110 to $120. Despite the increased membership, renewals are up. With the U.S. and Canada, rates up 92%.
All right, you know what day it is.
Yeah.
We just got through spring forward. Now it's March 14th, which is National Pi Day. The date resembles the mathematical constant 3.14. May's got to memorize to like 10 digits. Go.
Memorize 3.14. No. If math isn't your thing, there's another way you might want to enjoy it. Much tastier way for sure. A lot of pizza shops and pie companies are offering discounts. 7-Eleven, Blaze, BJ's offering pizzas for $3.14. Domino's, $3 coupons to people who pick up their orders today. And you've got Amazon Prime members getting $3.14 off large cherry and apple pies at Whole Foods. And Round Table is in the house. They have a deal for Pie Day, which is, Adam has brought out the calculator.
Of course. Sorry, that just totally whacked off May's train of thought there.
Yes,
she sees the calculator. She's like, oh no.
I'm
not back.
thinking pizza pie, and you got to throw some numbers at me.
All right, so 3.1415926 is the first few digits of pi. It's a very important number mathematically, and it defines the ratio between the diameter of a circle and the circumference of a circle. It's an irrational number, which means it goes on for forever. And when you use all these equations, somehow you find the answer to be 70 and partly sunny. That's our forecast for today. So it's not going to be too bad out there. 49 right now in Sacramento. It's cool to start. We have a ways to go before we hit our high temperature. But the exciting thing is all the clouds that are increasing as we get into the evening, they're a precursor to finally some rain tonight and into tomorrow. So there is our incoming storm. I expect rain to start after midnight and impact our morning commute tomorrow. And it'll likely dry out in the afternoon, especially in the valley. Could have some leftover showers in the foothills. Wednesday, 72 and sunny. Thursday, 70 for St. Patrick's Day. Friday, 71. And then we have another chance of rain and probably lower snow levels with more snow on Saturday. This upcoming storm not really going to provide us much snow, a coating to 4 inches is all. May, I'll send it back to you.
Adam, your little
See how much math he did there?
yeah, chemical experiment there, pie chart was just so amazing. Reminded me of all the things I missed out on.
And that's why we don't do weather. That looks
We're
hard.
journalists for the other brain. We'll leave the math up to Adam. 9:42, we know that everyone is eager to get out and travel again after the tight restrictions of the pandemic.
But with the fuel costs skyrocketing and airfares going
bad.
with them, we need to make the most of our travel rewards.
Rich DeMiro shows us helpful travel apps and websites in today's TechSmart.
Points are big business. People practically argue over who gets to pay at restaurants just to earn them. Today, I'm taking a look at several apps and websites that can help you get the maximum value out of your miles. Chances are you racked up points over the pandemic. These tools can help you make the most of them.
I love a good points redemption. I think it makes you feel like the smartest traveler you know.
Mitchell Stoughton is with thepointsguy.com. Their free app puts all of your points on one page.
It's not an asset that you necessarily want to hold on to. You want to use it to go out and take the trip.
The app connects with popular programs so you can see exactly how much your points are worth, the net worth of all your points, and when they expire. An Award Explorer compares booking with points versus paying.
There are certainly better and worse ways to spend miles. And that's one of the big questions that we wanted to answer with the app.
AwardWallet.com will search your email to find every last loyalty program you're a member of and track your points. I also love how it automatically imports all of your reservations so you can see everything on a timeline with confirmation numbers front and center. Finally, check out PointMe, a new website that's like a search engine for award travel.
Search for your origin, put in your destination, when do you want to go, and we show you every single possibility available using your miles and points on that day.
Pay $5 for a day's access or more for the year. 12,000 points for a flight to Hawaii. This site is so impressive, it feels like you're hacking the system.
You are probably getting 6 to 12 times the value compared to what you would do if you were searching on your own.
Since PointMe knows the ins and outs of every program and how points can be transferred around, you'll unearth valuable ways to redeem you never thought of.
So if you think that you've used a tool that helps you use miles and points before, you haven't used anything like this.
Okay, so you have to pay a bit to use PointMe, but the results are truly impressive. After using it to research for just a few minutes, I booked 2 flights using points in a way I would have never thought of. You can find more information on my website, richontech.tv. I'm Rich DeMuro, and you are TechSmart.
All right, 9:44 is your time. It's Pie Day. And pizza pie is just as important. We have Roundtable Pizza in the Fox 40 kitchen this morning showing off some of their top choices to celebrate and also a deal you can get today for Pie Day. Good morning to you, Stockton. You're just beautiful. Look at that blue skies, sunshine, the wispy clouds. It's a good day for National Pie Day. But I'm not talking numbers. I'm not Adam. I'm talking pizza pie. This is my kind of pie. We're so excited. We have Roundtable in the house this morning. Dale Patton is here. Thanks for being with us. Okay, you know what? I ordered a pepperoni pizza, and then I started to smell it. Am I right?
Well, I think you're right.
Do you see that? I've even got the nose for Pie Day, huh?
A pepperoni pizza because I knew you
Very
liked
nice. Oh, you know me well, and like I said, I've got the nose for it. So you have a special deal that's going on today.
So
okay.
We're actually doing a personal cheese pizza.
I need the delivery of the pizza, please. Look at that. Okay, so here's the personal that we can get.
So it's very fun to celebrate these fun holidays.
Yeah.
And so the personal cheese pizza today is on special. If you download our rewards app, it's only $3.14 for your very own personal cheese.
$3.14.
Yeah, so just
you
go
cannot
on
do any better than that.
roundtablepizza.com.
Okay.
Download the app if you're already one of our rewards member, which Sacramento, we have a ton of rewards members. And it'll show up on their app as a
Okay, fantastic. Let's start plating out our pizza here so I can start divvying it up.
Today
because
I wanted to bring some personal pizzas.
That's so nice. Look at that.
Because everyone likes their own pizza, and I thought we could do something where we each person gets.
And for $3.14, I mean, you cannot do better than that. Okay.
Last year when we ran this deal, it was very popular. A lot of moms and dads buying it for their kids after school.
That's a good idea.
But we also had businesses buying 30, 40 at a time because they were like, well, what a great deal to take care of our crew and our loyal employees.
I heard Adam walking over because he's our big pizza guy. I heard the footsteps. That was a really great idea. I love your thinking about our parents in the area, right? Right after school, before sports.
Who doesn't want to come home from school and have their own pizza?
And then also the businesses buying for their employees, but even more so than sports, it continues. You've got a deal for March Madness.
This week is a big week for us also. We have the NCAA March Madness basketball tournament.
Okay.
And so we're running a special on the large double play pepperoni.
Very nice.
It's a large it's two kinds of pepperoni.
Okay, very nice.
$19.99.
$19.99.
Yes.
Okay, very good. And that goes on for March Madness. All right, Dale Patton, we've got how many? We've got, let me guess. We've got pie, which is 3.14, whatever, times close to 3. That's how many locations we have in the Sacramento area, right?
There's actually over 60 Roundtable locations in the Sacramento area.
What? Oh, I thought it was like 17. You said 70. I was way off. See, Adam, I can't even do math, but I'm going to come over and deliver you your pizza.